Hi guys, it's Claire's, and today I'm going to show you a loose watercolor tutorial on how to do loose and quick lavenders. And for that, I am using my brushes, the simple round brushes, which are the number 7 and number 8. And then I have my Silver Black Velvet in the 4 on standby. And for colors, I already have some color on my palette, so just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to get any more color on here. But these are my new Daniel Smith that I purchased, and if you want to reference the previous video where I actually swatch all these colors, it's from this new pack over here. It's just the basic 6 that come in here, and I've kind of mixed some on here already. So we just need maybe 2 different variations of purple and a green. So I'm just going to use this. We're not going to be too finicky about color here. This is more about technique. And what else? Oh yes, paper. So for paper, I am using the Winsor & Newton watercolor cold press paper. And this is like a pack of postcards. They're really cute. So you could like paint one and then the back looks like a postcard and you can send it off to a friend or whoever. So let's get started. To begin with, I'm just going to make sure that everything is in clear view before we start. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to start off with my number 7, and I'm going to wet my paintbrush and get, actually not number 7, number 4. I'm going to start with the number 4, and I'm going to head on over and get some green from here on my palette. Now this is like a brighter green. I'm not crazy about the brighter green, so I'm just going to mix in some of this orange that I have going on here with the green to get more of a muted green that I prefer. And that really does help toning down the brightness of it and just lightening it up a bit. And I'm just going to start off by doing the stems. So just quick strokes like that. Oops. And that way, and I'm just going to do little directional ones in here so they can guide where I do my paintings for the florals. And remember, it's loose, so I'm not going to be toiling over this for too long, hopefully. And I'm just going to do one in here as well, because I like to do things in 3s. And we'll leave it at that for now. And what I'm going to, actually, I'm just going to go back, get some of the lighter while this is still kind of damp, and just overlay some of this because it's still damp. That's the only reason why. Okay, so I'm washing this off now. Now I'm going to go for my number 7, and I'm going to get one of the purples that I have here. So this looks very pinky, so I want to mix some of the blue in there to get a deeper purple. And maybe even right there, yeah, this purple looks a lot nicer here that I got, so I'm just going to go with that. And now that I have enough of it, I'm just going to go in, and we're using the pointillism method, so we're just dabbing. And you don't want to dab too much, but just like in variants here and there. So you might want to dab more along the stem to give it that directional feel. So we're still using more paint at this point. And if you can go darker than what I have, absolutely go darker. And keep going. So see how I went darker and it's kind of veining out into the other ones, if veining is a word, but you know what I mean by just looking at this. And then just going to keep on doing that more towards the edge. Sorry, not the edge, hugging the stem. Because we want to give the feel of from dark to light. And then same thing on here. And we want to do this fairly quickly so that it's still damp by the time we approach this with the thicker brush. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this despite my issue with having to finish quickly. So I'm just going to be sporadic here and there for these ones and not as meticulous as what I did here. And same thing here. I'm just going to go along the edges. And kind of trail off at the end or at the tip. Now I did say there's not a lot of toiling needed, but sometimes depending on the kind of personality that you are, you might just want to toil and toil over it. Try not to. I'm definitely that personality, so I'm trying really hard to kind of let go at this point so I can continue with the next step. So let's see how long this takes me. Okay, I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to take my thicker brush and I'm going to dab a little bit of the pink that I have here. It's like a pinky rose. And now I'm going to just go in and put it in different areas. This might be a little bit too pink, so you know what? I'm just going to put it in a few areas because the purple mixed with the pink kind of gives it a variation of purple, right? So we still don't want too much pink in this because lavenders are supposed to be variations of purple more than anything else. So I'm going to go back in, wash this off, and I'm going to take more of my blue that I have, which is off to the side here as well. And now I'm going to go in with the blue. And when you add the blue to the purple, what essentially happens is you're making a different variation of purple. So it could be more of the violet kind of blue that you have going on. And when it blends, it gives you a different, a different variation of it. So it's just nicer. So especially if you go in the darker areas and you do the little dot dot movement that I have going on, pointillism, as I like to call it, it really brings out the purples. Or you might have a blue that's a little more ultramarine, and in which case I think that's a little closer to the purple. So this is what the ultramarine one looks like. I just had some of the turquoisey blue on there, so I used it. But I think, as I am painting and watching this, I think the ultramarine is a safer, nicer, more chromatic bet when you're doing it this way. So we want to just enhance the purple that we already have. And now what I'll do is I'm just going to take just water, take off all the color, most of it at least, and just dab watermarks. So it's like you're picking up on the color that's already on your paper, and you're just giving it almost like a light halo of florals or petals, and try and do as much as you can everywhere. And this is where the looseness of it comes out, or in effect. And if you trail off like this, just trailing off, it's nice because then it's like a monochromatic feel of light to dark, or dark to light rather. And like variations of blob sizes too also really help. Like if you have, these are tinier but the ones on the outside are slightly bigger, that is a nice look as well. And just give it a direction. So if it's turning this way or going upward, give it a direction. It's nice. It adds movement to the whole painting. And so now this is good. I like how this has turned out. And so while I'm letting this kind of set in and dry, I'm just going to go in and just as soon as I give up on this, just give me a second. Sorry. This is my over the top trying to make things look the way I like it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my number 4 and I will just get some of the green that I mixed previously, and I'm going to do the leaves. So the leaves are just kind of like grass almost, I think. And so I just want it to be light and just I'll give a variation of green just to give it a 2D kind of look. My old faithful gel is back in effect, as you can see. I figured I should bust it out for the new year, just use it here occasionally, just for a variation. So we don't have to go overkill on the leaves, but I'm just kind of trying to add some extra to make it interesting looking. What we can also do is add a little bit of green touch-ups within the florals that we have going on. So if you want to add a little bit of green here and there to kind of indicate where the stems are, while this is still wet, that would be nice, make for a nice effect as well. I want to get like a little bit of a darker green going on, but I don't like that dark green, but I will just use it because I have it on my palette. Mixed it with the orange, and again I have like a more muted green that I like. So if you add it to the tips as well, it kind of gives the impression of like buds that haven't quite opened up as yet. And so yeah, so this is how you would do a really quick and loose rendition of, or watercolor illustration of lavenders. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. Please feel free to write your comments or make your comments in the comment section below. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to respond. Please feel free to interact. I love when you guys interact, especially when you show me what you've done. It's just so astonishing to me and always puts me in awe when I see what you guys do. So thanks so much for watching, guys. And also remember, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, so feel free to follow me over there as well. And once again, hope you enjoyed this, and we will chat soon. Bye.